Hey there, this is Art Wright, and as we move into the second half of our church year, I wanted to offer a short mid-year update about stewardship and our church budget. I'll be honest, we churches struggle to find the right balance between talking too much about money on the one hand and not talking enough about it on the other hand. If anything, my hunch is that our church probably errs on the side of not talking enough about money, and understandably so. We're a not-for-profit organization. We don't measure our success by the number of people who come on Sundays or by the amount of money in the offering plates or in our church coffers. We measure success by the depth of relationships that we have with one another and with God, and the ways in which we live into our calling for who God is calling us to be as Williamsburg Baptist Church in this community and in this world. But there are some very practical realities to being a church. We have a wonderful facility that Billy Scruggs and so many others take such good care of. We have a wonderful staff, all of whom I feel so blessed to work with on a weekly basis. And as a church, we support a number of community organizations and denominational partners in mission financially. And all of those things cost money. We're not embarrassed about it or shy about it. It's just a fact of life when it comes to participating in a community of faith like this. For a number of years, we have received checks from Sprint because they built a cell phone tower in our spire. Many of you know this, some of you might not. But so our budget that we adopted for calendar year 2022 includes an anticipated $24,000 worth of income from Sprint. And the unfortunate news is that we received a letter from them earlier this year to let us know that they would be pulling out of this arrangement. When I talked to our admin council, I said, is it sort of like a breakup? And Joe Phillips said, well, it wasn't an unexpected one. It was certainly within their contract to be able to pull out. And so I said, okay, maybe it's more like a breakup with a prenup. They told us, they had started a new relationship with T-Mobile, and so they were moving on. Thankfully, they very kindly offered us a going-away present of something like $15,000 to leave their equipment in our spire, which provides us with a little bit of a buffer as we adapt to this new budget reality. For them, they left the equipment in the spire because it would be more trouble than it's worth for them to try to remove it. All that to say, we as a church can no longer count on $24,000 a year from Sprint to help fill a significant part of our budget. It works out to about $2,000 a month. And so as the admin council absorbed this, and as the key leadership absorbed this, we felt like it was disappointing but not devastating news. But it does affect the life of this community and what we can do and can't do together, and so it's important to talk about it. We had a very successful stewardship drive at the end of 2021, and we expect to have a very successful one this fall as well, but we do need your help and support to help cover this gap that Sprint leaves in its wake. So a couple of thoughts. On the one hand, if you pledged this year, will you consider increasing your pledge by whatever amount that you can afford to, whether it's, you increase your pledge by $10 a week or $100 a month or $500 for the year. Every little bit helps. Fran Whitney sent me a funny email a couple of weeks ago with funny church slogans from church bulletins, and one of them in it was a church's stewardship campaign slogan, and it said, "I upped my pledge, up yours." And so there's a challenge for you from Fran Whitney's email. If you didn't pledge for our 22 budget, would you consider making a pledge for the remainder of this year? What we mean by pledging is simply a way of saying, I, myself, or me and my family plan to give $20 a week or $400 a month or whatever it is, and communicating that to the church leadership, and then we can do our best to plan and use our financial resources wisely. My wife and I pledge, and then we honestly just have our bank send a check every month. We don't even think about it. We just, whatever we pledge, we just say, all right, we use Virginia Credit Union. Virginia Credit Union, just send them a check for X number of dollars every month. And that's how we fulfill our pledge. And it just helps our church leadership plan better, know how to budget, and use our resources wisely. If you'd like to pledge or change your pledge, if you go to our website, williamsburgbaptist.com, there's a link for pledging under the Give tab, or you can email Kim Gear at churchoffice@williamsburgbaptist.com, and I'm sure she'd be glad to help. If you choose not to pledge, that's really okay. Folks who attend regularly but maybe haven't joined as members or friends often prefer just to, put money in the plate and the offering plate each week, and that's a-okay. If that's your situation, I would simply encourage you to consider how much you can put in the offering plate each week. And all of this comes with the caveat that all of us contribute to the life of this community of faith in different ways. Many of us do contribute financially because we know that it's important to this church to have financial resources, but others of us serve in a whole host of other ways. And I just want to encourage you by saying that as pastor, I don't see the financial records, I don't see the giving records, and so whatever you contribute to the life of the church or don't contribute to the life of the church in no way affects my relationship with you. I do want you to hear me say that I'm so grateful for you and for all the ways in which you contribute to the life of this church and support the life of this congregation. I am incredibly optimistic about the future of this place and about the present of this place. It's clear to me in a whole host of ways that God is at work in our midst. And so I'm so grateful for the ways in which you support this community financially and otherwise. Thanks so much for listening to this video. God bless.